I guess let's react to this video. Let's see what he has to say about his Game of the Year prediction. I have a feeling I'm not going to agree with him.
I got a really good question on the live stream the other day, which is that, DM, do you think that if Diablo 4 did not have any of the glaring issues that we've covered previously on this channel, that it would have won Game of the Year? So I took a...
Absolutely. It could have came out perfect and it still wouldn't have got Game of the Year. Like, come on. It could have came out with all the and more content than even PoE and it still wouldn't have won Game of the Year.
Moment to think about that, but my answer to that was still no, I don't think so. The reality is the competition for Game of the Year this year is absolutely insane. There is a quantity and there is a quality level to the games that are out, and in a variety of genres that it would have been extremely...
Did I see Armored Core 6 in there? I mean, it might get nominated, but I don't think it has a chance.
Difficult to win Game of the Year. In fact, all of the games that are going to...
All right, Resident Evil 4 Remake is definitely probably not even going to get nominated. I don't even see that getting nominated, to be honest.
Compete for that this year are going to have tough competition. So I want to talk about what my personal Game of the Year is that I played and enjoyed the most out of all of the games. And then I want to also discuss who do I think Game of the Year is actually going to go to. But before we get into that, let's talk about my favorite product of the year. Okay, let's take a look-see
Let's see what it is.
Okay. All right. First impression.
My man's got a sponsor.
Clickers feel good. Buttons feel good. That's what it looks like right now. This is the ROG Ally. It is a full Windows 11 PC with a 120 hertz screen that is absolutely perfect for playing Diablo.
Those are probably like super expensive though, aren't they? ROG Ally is, yeah, but aren't they like super expensive? I would love to have one, don't get me wrong. $700. Yeah, I figured they were pretty on, they were on the pricey side. It'd be sick to have one though.
4 on. You can use Steam's big picture mode to play all of your favorite games. For instance, I love Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 works great with a controller. So this
is one of those products that like Microsoft bringing out like their handheld system. This is what it's competing with, like this, you know, Steam Deck, fucking Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch is going to get left in the dust with all these like Windows 11 handhelds.
This is the perfect
device
Steam
for that. Switch.
I'm also going to be playing some of my favorite games like Starfield that are coming up here, or Armored Core 6, and now I can play these games even...
I wonder what kind of graphics card and processor is in those. I'd have to look that up.
While not streaming or creating videos, just for the love of gaming. Because it's a full Windows 11 computer, you can do all of the things your Windows...
Here's my answers. It's got AMD Ryzen. 120 hertz. Cool and quiet thermal system. It doesn't tell me the graphics card.
PC at home can do, but now you can do them on the go. So you get the ease of use of a console with a controller, but you get the accessibility of a full Windows computer built right into the ROG Ally.
I like how the
highly recommend the ROG Ally for anybody that is looking to expand their playability beyond just being locked at home. Or even if you are at home and you want to play on the couch watching movies like I do, I highly recommend the device.
I mean, don't we all? Who loves just sitting on the couch with their Switch and just gaming while they're watching a movie? I do it all the time. That's a lie. I don't do it all the time.
Device. Shout out to ROG for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much.
It's a Ryzen APU, so no graphics card.
This will be something I will be using for myself.
I wonder how a game like Starfield would run on that.
Now let's talk about my personal favorite game of the year. This isn't going to be the one that I think is actually going to win the award. That's the one we're going to talk about next, but we're going to talk about the one that for me, I had the most fun playing. Now, if you've been watching the live streams recently, you might think it's Mortal Kombat, as I've been spending quite a bit of time playing Mortal Kombat because I actually just really like that game. Oh my God!
I could see Mortal Kombat being a nominee.
I would have to use my fatal blow too, you know, honestly, and I would get blocked and be right back to the fucking combo, son. Holy moly, what happened to DM overnight? DM went and got good. What happened, chat? Even though there's some complaints in the community.
He got good overnight, boys. That's how it happens in fighting games.
around the game. I actually find the game very enjoyable, but I am a casual fighting game enjoyer, so I am not good enough to know this even if there was some problems. But it's not Mortal Kombat 1, actually. It's a different game. And if you've been watching the YouTube channel, you might think it's Starfield, because I've been talking about that game for a while and then made several videos on that game.
Starfield is another game I don't think has a chance. The way it released, and I just don't think there's enough to it.
Take a photo of our Spider-Man kiss. I might even buy like the Constellation Edition with the watch and all this. Man, this is a really cool collector's piece, though. Like the box is basically the best bit of it. Yeah, Ro. It's a thick guy. I was pretty into Starfield, but if you've watched my reviews, you would see I was slightly disappointed and only ended up giving Starfield like a 7.5 out of 10 ranking. So it's actually,
I would say that's
neither
fair.
of these games. It is another game that I streamed for a little while called Remnant 2. Now, if you're not familiar with Remnant 2, I highly recommend it. It has...
I've watched some people play Remnant 2. It didn't strike me as all that compelling, but I guess there's like some roguelike aspects to it, and there's bosses at the end of every area or dungeon or whatever. So I don't know. I'd probably have to play it to give my judgment, but I could see it being in the running. I don't think it's game of the year quality though.
Seamless co-op if you like to play with a buddy. It has a roguelike type of experience where you effectively are getting maps that are generated that have hard bosses at the end. It actually does have a story to it. Your campaign experience is not going to be exactly like any other person. It has classes you can pick from. The gunplay is really good, and the gameplay combat feels very smooth. Remnant 2 for me, every time that I was lost.
See, I'm just kind of biased when it comes to games like this. I'm not really a first person or over the shoulder shooter kind of guy. It's never been my thing.
Logging into the game, I had a better experience than I was hoping to have.
There is one exception. I do love the Borderlands games, but I don't know. I think that's a little bit different. Maybe I'm wrong.
Have with the game.
You're clutch.
Behind you. There's a samurai.
No, there's a bigger guy behind you.
Multiple big guys. There's a floating dude that teleport. Holy shit, he shoots laser beams. Oh shit, I forgot about friendly fire, my bad. Forgot again. I keep forgetting.
What a jerk. I can't say nothing. I'd probably be doing the same thing.
I forgot, my bad, I forgot.
A lot of that has to go with the heavy lifting the boss fights we're doing for my enjoyability. There's a significant number of really good boss fights in the game that for me constantly made me feel like it was a fair challenge, but engaging challenge. My favorite one out of all of them would be like the labyrinth boss, where you have these squares that are trying to squish you, but you can blow holes in the side of them, so that way when they go to squish you, you can stand underneath them. And that's like an entire boss fight. It was actually just really cool.
That's like some Mario shit. Oh!
Mm-hmm. Cool. You're dead, right? Totally dead?
Oh!
Fucking got it. So for me personally, even though, again, this isn't the one that's going to win, I don't think it's going to win. It doesn't have as big of a player base, and it died off pretty fast. But Remnant 2 for me was an absolute phenomenal game.
It's a game I would try. I don't know how much I would enjoy it, because like I said, I'm not a big first person or over-the-shoulder shooter type. I'm not big into shooters, but, I'd give it a shot. I mean, I gave Destiny a shot. I've given several games a shot. Just, it doesn't last long for me because I don't like shooters.
I have no problem recommending people give a chance. Now let's talk about what game is going to win it. There are going to be 4 games, in my opinion, that are at least going to be nominated, potentially.
All right, let's try to guess. Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate, and what would be the 4th nominee? Starfield, probably. That would be my 4 guesses for the 4 nominees. Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate, Starfield, and Spider-Man 2. I think those are the 4 nominees for Game of the Year, if we could only pick 4. And Tears of the Kingdom, I think, is the winner.
More. We have the defending champions with From Software that won last year with their game Elden Ring. Is going to have Armored Core 6 in there now. I do think Armored Core 6, being as pretty well reviewed, got pretty good critic score.
I as much as, I'm a fan of the Armored Core games. I think they're fun. But I think, unlike Elden Ring, I think the Armored Core series is more of a niche game. I don't think it's a game that everybody was really interested in and wanted to play. Sure, it was well received by the people like Armored Core fans, that audience, but it, like, I don't know. Elden Ring was different. It was a different breed of monster, and From Software really hit it out of the park with Elden Ring last year. So Armored Core, though, I don't see it. I don't think it has a chance. I don't even think it's nominated in the top 4.
Course, I do think that we will see that one be nominated for this year. I don't think it's going to win. I don't think they're going to have back-to-back W's if I had to guess, but I do think we will see Armored Core 6 because of how well it was received. We're going to definitely see that one nominated if I had to have my money on it. Now, the next game we're going to see nominated is probably Starfield. Again, critic scores were pretty good.
Yeah, I can agree with this. I can see Starfield
make a nomination. Again, I don't think it will win. I have played the game. I liked the game. I don't think it is enough to actually bring it home and win this one. Now, there is...
I agree. It's just Fallout in space. And a lot of the stuff they promised is janky. It runs poorly. And it's just, you know, there's only so much I can say about Starfield because I've only put about maybe 20 hours into it. But I don't know. It just didn't suck me in. It just felt like every other Bethesda open world game I've ever played. Lots of fast travel. I mean, the gunplay was pretty fun, but it was pretty much the same as all the others.
A Zelda game out this year, and normally these can do pretty well. Nintendo games can do pretty well with these types of showings. And
in my opinion, Tears of the Kingdom takes it home this year, hands down. Zelda is a title that anyone can play, all ages, from a 5 to 10-year-old to a 36-year-old man like me. Anyone can enjoy Zelda. This is guaranteed winner. I have 100% faith Zelda Tears of the Kingdom wins it this year. I don't even think it's a question.
And people seem to like Tears of the Kingdom. There was some complaints about the game, admittedly, but I think for the most part, it was decently well received. And these Zelda Nintendo games normally get nominated, it seems. So for me personally, I would say, yeah, we're probably going to see Tears of the Kingdom, the Breath of the Wild sequel. That one is...
It's not even a probably. It's an almost definitely guaranteed, and it's going to win.
Probably going to be in the nominations at least. Again, I don't...
When it was released, didn't it have like the highest score on Metacritic and all like the sites ever in like history? Wasn't it like a 96 or a 97? And it had a ton of reviews too.
Think these 3 win it. The fourth one for me is the one that I think is going to bring it on home, okay? Which is going to be Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is the only game that I have ever seen people complain is too good. That is right. That's actually a talking point. So for...
See, while I can agree Baldur's Gate is probably good. I mean, it's been well received. It got a really high score just like Zelda did. But like, I don't know, not everybody enjoys those turn-based combat games. I think it's a little niche compared to a game like Tears of the Kingdom that anyone can pick up and play and have fun. I don't see like a little 6 or 7-year-old picking up Baldur's Gate and enjoying it, whereas they could pick up Tears of the Kingdom and, not even know what they're doing and still have a good time.
For me, it is the type of situation in which this game seems to be flawlessly reviewed. People who don't even like turn-based.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is number 1. Super Mario Odyssey is number 2. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, number 3. I had a feeling it was something like that. I knew Legend of Zelda broke the record. It's the highest rated. I remember reading that.
Games are liking it. It is incredibly well voice acted. There are a lot of cutscenes. It did well both on Twitch. It did well on YouTube. It did well in reviews. It did well by basically any metric that you can actually measure the thing.
The only thing I'm going to agree with Baldur's Gate is, yeah, it will be in the running. But I think when it comes to accessibility and everybody being able to play it not being as niche, I think Zelda takes it just based on player base, the amount of people that can play it and want to play it, and the love for the franchise overall.
So much to the point that I think people will be surprised
that I really enjoyed
if
Tears of the
Baldur's
Kingdom.
Gate 3 does not actually win this Game of the Year. So for me, when we go to the conversation and bring it all the way back around to the question that somebody asked me in the live stream about if Diablo 4 basically had all of its stuff together, could it still have won the Game of the Year? And
absolutely
the answer
not.
Is absolutely not, because this year a lot of good games are not going to be winning Game of the Year. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take it on home, which means games like Armored Core 6, the new Zelda games, Starfield, Mortal Kombat, all these other games, the Remnant 2 one that for me personally was the best one, all these other great games that do very well in their own respective genres, they aren't going to win because the competition is extremely
a turn-based RPG. It's not like Zelda where anyone can pick it up and have a blast with it.
Most of the competition out of the water with that one. And if they didn't, I'm like, just
for example, you could hand your 5-year-old Tears of the Kingdom on a Switch and he could run around the world and have a good time and not even know what he's doing. Now, if you put him on your computer and you loaded up Baldur's Gate and said, go at it, he's going to get bored real quick. Not know, that's the difference. Zelda's not super niche. Anyone can pick it up and play, whereas Baldur's Gate is kind of a niche. It's, those turn-based combat games are for a certain breed of people. And I'm one of those people. I like turn-based combat games. I always have. But I don't think it's Game of the Year content.
Just imagine if Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't in there, the competition is still going to be insane for the amount of games that we have out at the moment. So that's my own personal opinion on the matter. Now, the thing is, whether or not I'm correct about that, I don't know. And there are still other games coming out.
I don't think he is. I think we can all agree in chat here that Tears of the Kingdom takes it.
Now, like as of the recording of this video, Liza P will have just been out. The First Descendant beta is now coming out. There's other games that
Liza P was good, but once again, not Game of the Year content.
Make the competition even fiercer. If we have another Baldur's Gate 3 level drop,
exactly. Reading strategy and character building is not what kids want.
Stacked.
They want pick up and
play
and have fun.
Is no matter who actually wins this award, the real winners are the gamers this year. Like we actually got some banging games. Granted, we got some disappointing ones, but we got some bangers of some games this year. More than almost any other year. There has been a drought of games, I feel like sometimes. I'm still starving for some Star Wars games, but for the most part, this year has been full of really good games, and I'm pretty happy about that.
It really has, and we still have a lot more games coming out this year. Guys, I'll link this video down in the description so you guys can check it out on your own. But that'll be it for this one. Peace.